Hey there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod. That would have been Dirty Water by the Standells. I want to tell you a little story and tell you about my town. That was playing in the Peach Pit at the end on the jukebox when the real J. Thomas Parnell shows up. It's a song about the River Charles in Boston. It's a good song. I am Jeff, and aren't you forgetting about something? Starts with D, rhymes with T, like Teasley. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and I just want to talk to Burt Reynolds' publicist.
I mean, who doesn't? That guy, he's got it wired. I mean, if you're in the Burt Reynolds business, you're in the making money business, people. That's what it's about. By the way, people, that lady running the commercial shoot, let's go, people. Okay, people. People, who's talking, people? That lady with her people. It's a lot.
Listen, I would work for her in a heartbeat.
Because she was organized?
Yes.
Or because she liked her like 1993 jeans, because they were super 93.
Both. They were great. The only thing I didn't like was, of course, the people playing Teeth or Decay, not Teeth, not knowing that they were about to get hosed down. Not cool.
Here's the thing. I don't think that that's the people lady's fault. I think they weren't booked as extras. I bet the extras knew. I bet the people who were supposed to be there probably knew what was going on. These three yuckleheads, no, they don't know.
They're not going to see a cent, and they don't care because they're already rich fuckers.
And to be fair, it feels kind of okay that they got blasted with a fire hose, right? Like I'm okay with that. Like after all the bullshit Steve and Dylan have been into this year, and this ginger lady who's clearly not on the level, hit them all with the fire hose.
You know what? Great point, and I can't believe I didn't think of that.
You get to drink from the fire hose. This week, Cheesemeisters, we are talking about season 3, episode 26. She came in through the bathroom window. Original air date 4/28/93. Let's start with this. That title is a lie. She exited through the bathroom window. Yeah. So they're setting you up from the start with this and bullshit. You guys are just gonna have to strap on, because we're lying from you right out the get-go. We're not playing that song because it's too expensive. Beatles music's very expensive.
Yeah.
By the way, this way aside, but remember that episode of Mad Men where Don got a hold of Revolver and put on Tomorrow Never Knows and lost his mind? Like it completely broke him from the inside out. That was genius, because the whole episode they talked about how licensing Beatles music was too expensive to do for commercials, and then they licensed it for the end of the episode. It's like, bravo.
Beautiful. Most expensive episode, I think.
I'm not surprised. And the fact that look, Megan must not have known Don at all if she thought that anything beyond total meltdown in his cranium was going to happen when he was confronted with something so far out of his worldview.
You know she didn't know him.
I know, but we did. That was fucked up. So shouts to Don Draper listening to Tomorrow Never Knows. At least that song appeared in the episode. So aside from all of the bacteria, did you throw up in your mouth or throw something this week?
No, I rolled my eyes a lot, though. My God, sure. This was, it wasn't terrible, and thankfully you warned me, but I probably threw up in my mouth a little that they were able to just walk on a set and get to do a thing. I was like, wow.
Yeah, most of the time, if you act like you're supposed to be there, people just let you go.
I know. I just don't know listen, it's New York. I guess I just need to walk around the neighborhood more when they have those signs up that, hey, filming's going to take place here, and wear something nondescript and just,
Hey, where am I supposed to be?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Why not? It's 2025. We can do whatever we want now. There are no rules, man.
I'm telling you. Like here's where I knew that this was kind of the way things worked. When I was at IU and I was an RA, big man in charge of shit. I was walking through the lobby one day of the dorm, and the dorm in the lobby in Reed is huge. Like it's really big. And there were like guys in there stacking furniture for whatever reason. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. They were just goofing off. And I walked past. I was like, knock it off. Put that stuff back. And they were like, oh, sorry. And they did it. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know I was an RA on a different floor. Like, I just told them to knock it off. And they were like, oh, you're right. We'll knock it off. Person in charge. Like, you just kind of have to act like you're in charge. And, like, sometimes people will just do it.
I can only do that when I'm in a teaching environment.
Like, I wasn't. I was teaching them, don't stack that furniture up.
Like, the only times I feel that level of confidence is when I am in charge of children or I'm working wardrobe and I'm in charge of getting actors dressed.
Sure.
Because then it's like, I'm tired of your bullshit. Get into that outfit. Or, oh, these hairpins hurt. I'm sorry. Maybe you should have. It's a whole story. I'm not going into it.
Understood. But I'm saying take that energy and boss people around. Just do it. Go ahead. Get on that movie set. I was supposed to have a line today.
I was supposed to. Don't even get me started on what I was supposed to have, Jeff.
I'm just saying, you're standing out there and you're wearing your jeans and your nondescript t-shirt and you're like trying to be like lady number 3 in the background. And when they're like, okay, anybody have any questions? And you're like, I was supposed to have a line today. There was like, I got a rewrite yesterday. It was something like I was supposed to say, watch out. And they're like, oh shit, that would make this better. You're right, lady number 3. Say watch out. And now you're like, I got that money. And you got your reel going. It's a whole, I mean, I'm telling you, all you got to do. I was supposed to have a line today.
Yeah.
It's official.
All right.
I typed it on this paper. It's rumpled up in my pocket. I got all the plans. All right. So what happens in this episode? It's senior ditch day. So the gang, minus Steve, because he has detention, Brandon, because he's helping, and Dylan, because he needs to study for the SAT. Everybody else is going to Magic Mountain. Skip day. Even Gil. What the fuck, having a chaperone on a skip day?
I've never understood the concept of senior ditch day because it's basically an okay to ditch, which kind of takes away the whole point of ditching.
Yeah, but it's still a day off. And what are you going to do? You're not going to take a day off?
I don't know. No, I liked school. I miss school.
Saying. School's good, but a day off is good too.
I cried on snow days my senior year.
Oh man, my senior year, we lost a whole week to snow. And they didn't make us make it up. Because graduation was already like scheduled and in the books. We didn't have to make that week up. It's the best.
Yeah, my show I had a performance get canceled and I was devastated.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. Yeah, that's different than like you just get a week off school for no reason. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, we did not have chaperones when we had ditch day. So Gil's presence.
Well, Gil's hardly an adult.
Well, that's fair. Still no beard though, so Gil's out there just free facing it.
Free facing it.
Yeah. So those guys, they go to Magic Mountain. Steve has to check in the morning detention and end of the day detention, as is the custom of his people. And Dylan's taking the day off to study for the SATs because he's finally stopped bitching about it and he's just going to do it. Whiny son of a bitch.
Good grief.
Yeah. And then Brandon was going to drive up separate after he works the breakfast shift because Ginger, what's her ass, comes in the door. She works for J. Thomas Parnell Celebrity Tours, and the Phoenix, Arizona chapter of the Burt Reynolds fan club, which is amazing, no notes, is coming to LA to do a whole day of Burt. They're going to eat breakfast at the Peach Pit, which is one of Burt's favorite places. That's why we've seen him there so many times. And then they're going to go to a screening of Deliverance and something else. And then a screening of his new movie, Cop and a Half. And then they're going to get to meet Mr. Burt Reynolds. And all this goes to shit when J. Thomas Parnell doesn't show up, he doesn't have the money. Ginger doesn't have the money. She's worried maybe they don't even have the screening the plays never even heard of J. Thomas Parnell Celebrity Tours Incorporated LLC, and she's like, "Oh no, I got these angry Burt Reynolds fans. Like, I mean, the bus was late. They're already up my ass. They're gonna take me down. And if I don't give them Burt Reynolds, possibly put him in a jar in my basement so that they can come and look at him." And she steals Brandon's car. That's where she goes out the bathroom window. And they chase her down, and they end up in a television commercial. And because Steve knows Burt Reynolds, his mom, she did a cameo on Smokey and the Bandit, which she did not do. I looked up the actress. She was not in Smokey and the Bandit. Or Smokey and the Bandit 2. It would have been nice if she was. I would have been happy if she was.
I knew that instinctively. I said, there's no way. And they're also banking on, not at the time possibly, but like, I don't know, if people could look that up, like, oh, well, obviously she was on the cutting room floor, like Brandon.
Right. Well, that's fair. Yeah. Look, that's my elbow. But you know what? Like, it would have been one of those perfect, wink winks if she had been in Smoking the Bandit. Because like it's not inconceivable. She was doing stuff at that time. Obviously, Burt knows Aaron spelling. Like that's we're traveling in the same circles here. And it would have been, I think, Jeff's kiss if that had been true. But alas. So they can't get a hold of Burt Reynolds, and they finally convince Ginger, who has had like $2,500 in cash in her pocket this entire time, could have just paid breakfast, no big deal, to go back and take the heat for it. And then Burt Reynolds shows up, sweet mother of God. Y'all want to go see Cop and a Half? It's like the fourth time they mentioned Cop and a Half, by the way, getting ready to come out when this episode drops. So, I mean, this is ridiculous, like just promotion for this film. And they meet Burt Reynolds, and he, Steve's sitting in his chair, and then J. Thomas Parnell shows up, and it turns out Ginger's a criminal all along, and she is lit for the northern countries or whatnot.
Yeah.
And Jason Priestley directed. Yeah, so I guess let's start there. What do you think of a Jason Priestley directed episode? I think this is his first one.
I think so too. It caught me off guard.
Sure.
And of course, I had a moment of, they let a teenager do this? And I went, oh, he's probably in his 20s. But still, that's, young to hand the reins. I think James Van Der Beek ends up directing an episode or two of Dawson's Creek, which is,
of course,
fun little irony, maybe.
I mean, no, that's the whole thing. You're supposed to learn,
Yeah.
You get on the set and you take new jobs and you learn the business. And who was I listening to tell that story the other day of like, that's exactly what they did. They just came and learned everything. It was shit. I'll think of it at some point, but it was somebody who used to do a bunch of TV, and I remember who it was because it was on Jenny and Tori's podcast. It was Anson Williams. It was Potsy. He was talking about when he was on Happy Days, how Gary Marshall pulled them all aside and was like, this is how you get a job in this. This is how you make a career. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't just be an actor. You learn these other parts of the business so that you can go on and do them. And that's how Ron Howard became a director, and how Anson Williams went on to become a TV director and a producer. And like he was like, it was like going to school. It was our grad school. And Jenny and Tori were like, I wish we'd done that. Like,
right. Well, I would imagine
a little bit, but
I would imagine it's something they focus on, or they would focus on teaching the men rather than the women. Even though if you think about it, the women are going to be losing work sooner than the men because, we don't like watching women age.
I mean, there's that. That's 100% there. I think that it was that the 90210 cast was like they were not very smart about this stuff. Like, because I've heard them lament themselves, like the fact that the Friends cast went in and negotiated as a group, and how beneficial that was to their contract situation, and the fact they were all able to stay together and stay on the show and not have this infighting. And this cast eats itself alive. Sorry, blew in my face. They they negotiate against each other. They don't they don't have this Gary Marshall grad school that they go through,
Yeah.
Which would have been, pretty cool, I think, for them. And, sadly, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
See these episodes. Here we go. Yeah, this was his first one, confirmed.
I think he did a decent job. Like you texted me that, like, oh, they tend to be a little kooky and everything. And that was definitely there, especially at the very end, like, my keys. And then the phrase.
And the 3 heads above the doors. Like when they're leaning around the door, like, and like when the guy steps out of the bathroom and it starts out with the same shot of his feet as it did with Ginger's, and it pans up the body. Like okay, I see what you're doing there. That's pretty fun. So yeah, there's, what this is? Like, I feel like this is a Ringo song from like the first 5 albums. Like, where like everyone loves Ringo. They want him to be able to sing a song on the album, but he doesn't write his own music. So he's got to get a song that was written by John or Paul or all of them. And they never give him the ones that are like their best ones. Like, he gets, like, if you want to entertain yourself, go listen to What Goes On Rubber Soul and listen to the guitars, because they're in the background. They're not even playing. They're like womp, deep, bump, derp, deep, darp the whole time. Like, it's all mixed in, and it sounds like a fine song. But it's like, well, we don't give a shit about this Ringo song.
Aww.
So yeah, so I feel like they gave Jason one to direct that was without consequence. Like, yeah, I get your feet wet on this one. Cut your teeth on this. It's a silly filler episode where nothing happens, except for some capery hijinks.
Yeah. Donna uses her what she learned in that self-defense class, which great callback.
Yeah, she did it. Yeah, she did. All right, so what do you think this episode might really have been about? I have a few things.
I do as well. I think this episode is about testing your limits, or just testing the limits that are set there for you. Like, for instance, Ginger is constantly testing the limits of this elaborate con. How far away can I get with this? What more can I do? What more? She's testing the limits as a white woman. Oh my God. Okay. We've seen that. Anyway, Steve is also testing the limits of detention.
Yes, he is.
He's like, listen, I think I've done the time. I've done good things. I shouldn't. There was a substitute proctor. I didn't have to be there. I could have gotten away with it. I'm Steve Sanders.
That's right.
And then Andrea testing the limits of fear.
Yeah, I agree. I related to that. I think one of the things this episode is about is fear of the unknown. Like, Andrea is afraid of roller coasters and sex and college. Everybody's a little bit afraid of college. They're all afraid of the future. People are afraid of this pickpocket. Like, but here's the thing about fear, and that's what this episode is telling us. What do you do to fear? You look fear in the eyes, and then you kick its ass while quoting Clint Eastwood movies, because Donna gets after it with this guy, takes him down, and he's not going to graduate because Gil says so.
And now Gil's going to hit him with a car.
Yeah, well, wait till you see who might not No, I'm not going to say it.
No, I already have. I mean, remember, I had that.
I know, you've seen memes.
And someone said something, and it was, again, I have no idea what's going to happen. I know a phrase. That's all.
Yep. You're about to live that phrase coming up in the next couple episodes.
Oh, God.
Very exciting. Yeah. No, I think they're all, I think you're right. They're all pushing that boundary. Andrea keeps trying to pump herself up to do that thing. And then when Donna has the opportunity to just let that guy straight up Brenda Walsher in the peach pit, she takes him down.
Oh yeah.
Boom,
no,
bitch went down.
No.
Sid, super bitch. That's from Scream.
It was great.
Oh yeah, I felt good about it. That's my Rose McGowan impression. Yep. Boom. Sid.
Another controversial spelling actress.
Is she controversial? I think she's all right. I think she got it. I think
she's got bad PR. Like, I have no problem with her.
She got involved with some bad folks. I mean, she got this whole Marilyn Manson thing going on that's bad news for her, and because he's not apparently a very nice person. Anyway, shouts to 10, which is what she wears in the Scream movie. Yeah. Speaking of Andrea's fear of sex and roller coasters in college, Andrea's never done anything. Like, we're 3 seasons in, and I came up with a list off the top of my head of things that Andrea has never done. I've never tried yoga, and she's up for all of it, but she's never done it. Never had sushi, never had roller coasters, never done the sex.
She's a kid.
She's never been to a spa, right? She's never been to a spa.
Listen, I hadn't done shit either by high school, or by the end of high school. It took college for me to do all these things that Andrea hasn't done. So maybe ease up on Andrea.
No, I mean, I'm not. It's like every episode. It's like, well, I haven't done that. Add it to the list of things I haven't done.
True.
No, it's just funny that it keeps happening. I'm not judging Andrea. You go at your own pace through life, everybody. Ride those roller coasters when you're ready to ride those roller coasters. But sushi, all those things are good things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna shame yoga, sushi, roller coasters, or sex. Doing them all together at the same time, frowned upon.
I mean, it could be interesting. No, the roller coaster in there is the worst part. Everything else might be a little dangerous.
Like, let's say you're eating your sushi and you've got your chopsticks and you drop one and it flies back behind you and it impales the person. It's very dangerous. Chopsticks on a roller coaster, bad. Edict.
Yoga on a roller coaster, really stupid. That centrifugal force may not work.
It's real dangerous. Yeah, it's super dangerous. So again, I would say do these things. You know what? You can combine some of these things. Like this, it's totally fine. Encouraged. I think we're gonna say combine some of this shit, but leave the roller coaster part out of it. That's
right. Like,
not gonna end up well. Like, they don't even want you to raise your hands up. They don't want you
really
behind your ear.
Oh, yeah.
They don't. It's just it's unsafe.
Well, I think this episode is also about how young adults make awful criminals. Because
sure,
Steve couldn't hack it as a hacker.
Yeah.
Ginger, I have no words. She's
overly complicated schemer. This Ginger.
Overly complicated. You could have done something that was way less involved, but you are clearly a sociopath. Something. And then a pork thief. Like, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna go after people that you go to school with who know your face?
Yeah, exactly. They knew your name, dude. You weren't even I don't remember what his name was, but they said it. They're like,
Dean Anderson.
Dean Anderson. Mr. Anderson. Just straight up getting arrested in his Canadian tuxedo. Bad,
which is
bad news
coming
for
back
that dude.
apparently.
Did it ever go away? It's like Bob's Big Boy. It's everywhere. Frisch's Big Boy.
Oh,
It's
okay,
everywhere.
fair.
They've always offered delicious food at a reasonable price. I'm saying. I think one of the things this episode is about is SpawnCon. Like this was a commercial for Magic Mountain. This was a commercial for Cop and a Half. This was a commercial for I don't know, whatever product mouthwash that they were fire hosing people with. It was a commercial for Mr. Burt Reynolds and his movies Deliverance and Cop and a Half, which I never saw Cop and a Half, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say those are very different films.
I'm okay. I have no idea.
You don't know what Deliverance is about? You never heard of Deliverance? It's pretty famous. It's three guys on a like a whitewater rafting trip through Georgia in the 70s, and things go terribly wrong, and Ned Beatty is forced to squeal like a pig.
Oh my God.
And then there's probably some anal rape. It's a rough movie.
I was going to say, you didn't even have to go into the last thing, because when you said is forced to squeal like a pig, I went, oh, there's some unconsensual shit happening here.
It's bad news. Yeah. I'm not going to recommend we watch Deliverance, but
I'm good. I'm going to politely decline.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched it because I heard it was a good movie, and it's a lot, but it also has the kid on the front porch, the dueling banjos scene that's on there. So it's worth being conversant in Deliverance. I don't think everyone needs to watch it, but anyway, I'm pretty sure it's not the same as Cop and a Half, even though I've never seen Cop and a Half. I know,
it's heavy shit. Jesus.
It is, yeah. And I'm pretty sure like the half is like a little kid. So we definitely don't want the squeal like a pig stuff happening in this Cop and a Half movie. Also, Evening Shade, little commercial for Evening Shade, which is a show you don't remember existing. Is that right?
I've never heard of this show.
Oh yeah, it was like a CBS Monday night sitcom in the early 90s. It's one of those shows where like, oh, that's for my parents, and then you watch it and you're like, this show's pretty funny. Like it's Burt Reynolds, it's Charles Durning,
okay,
Pappy O'Daniel,
yeah,
mass communicating. Doesn't matter how stumpy.
I wanted to do the dance, and I was like, I can't do that sitting down.
It's really hard to do that dance sitting down.
He uses his legs. He
does.
His whole body.
Yeah, he's great. Anyway, Evening Shade was a fun show. So I like that Burt Reynolds was getting the shout out for Evening Shade in this as well. But yeah, it's just I also feel like maybe that's how they paid, because they had to pay Jason to direct and to act. So like they needed some extra money. So like they got the Cop and a Half dollars and they got the Magic Mountain money, and they're like, here you go, Jason, you can have this for this
smart episode.
Yeah, you got to offset those costs.
Yeah,
offsetting is very important. What else is this really about?
The last thing I have is the most obvious one, which is life is like a roller coaster, and you can either fear it or ride it.
There you go. Yeah, this episode's about metaphors.
Oh my God. Like,
I
texted this to you because the first time they went into the, I guess sex is kind of like that. I was like, oh, why?
Yeah.
But then the second time I went, no, this is actually kind of touching. No pun intended. Yeah, it's lovely. Maybe lovely is too strong of a word, but it was sweet.
Is it loverly? Maybe it's loverly.
Oh,
maybe. I did like that it was Andrea and Donna having that conversation, because these are two characters that don't talk a lot.
No.
So giving them chances to that was another thing this episode did, is it sort of mixed up some pairings a little bit. I
have noticed that more in the last few episodes. I'm like, oh cool, because like Dylan and Andrea is an interesting pairing. And now, we got to see the girls interact in a way that we haven't in a while. Kelly and Brenda are better, but then getting to see Andrea, they keep kind of separate a lot. It's like they think it's like they're putting her in this frame of mind that if you're a serious woman, you can't hang out with other women, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But that's exactly the kind of thing they're subtly telling us.
Yeah.
So seeing her and Donna is a fun and unique pairing.
Mm-hmm. And then Steve and Dylan get to hang out the whole episode. In what you described, you texted me something, and it was basically like this feels like their real relationship. It's Steve and Dylan.
This felt
like,
so.
It would be.
Yeah, from the first few minutes, I went, "This is what I was thinking. This feels right." I guess it makes sense that it's more pronounced now because, of course, they're fighting over Kelly in a way.
Yeah, but that's dumb. Like, they're not really, and they, like if you left the Kelly stuff out of it, I think it works just as well without it like hanging back on this thing where like Steve is still pining, even though we know he's not. Like, he met Celeste and liked her, and she just didn't go out with him one time. Celeste is going to be back. Spoilers.
Steve man, he really needs constant love and attention, and it's clear he doesn't get it from Samantha, and Kelly's like a backup reliable source. So like I don't discount that there's love there, but yeah, he's not still in love with her. He doesn't still want her, like, or
no.
He might think he does, but again, it's just from a place of loneliness. It's like typical teenager. Do you really want to be in a relationship? Probably not. You just want to be with someone because friends don't hang out like couples do. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I get it. It feels nice if somebody likes you.
Well, I mean, I get it, but then I'm also saddened by it.
Yeah, I get that. I think it, like, if the whole thing between the two of them is just that each of them respectively is tired of the bullshit the other one is constantly pulling, I think that's real valid. Like, when Steve's like, if you just put your name on it the first time, Jack Wagon, you'd be all right. Like, oh, you're taking the test again? Try not to cheat this time, knucklehead. And Dylan is like, huge guy, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And then he's like, Steve drives me nuts, Brandon. Like, this guy's always got an angle. He doesn't stand for anything. He's I don't know what he didn't call him this, but it's like, he's like, if you try to nail Jello to the wall, it just sort of, like, I don't, like, Steve is always just telling, he's got an angle for everything. He sucks. And they're both right. I mean, they're both right about the failings of the other. And like, I kind of loved Dylan constantly forcing Steve to like, oh, really? Well, go ahead and call then.
Bet.
Yeah, do it. Show me. Yeah. Oh, really? You can do that?
It was nice to see whether or not they officially recognize this, but that teenage boys can be just as petty and silly as teenage girls.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But I do like that in the end, Steve made it happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was him calling his mom that got Burt Reynolds there. Because Burt's like, tell your mom she owes me one. Like, that's...
You like it?
Yeah, exactly. That was solid. That's solid. I bet you that's a Burt Reynolds ad lib. That is what Burt Reynolds says every time he met anyone, any guy in the 90s that Burt Reynolds met who says, you knew my mom. That's got to be like, oh shit, I'm going to have to pay some child support. That mustache was out there getting it done. I mean, I know that like Burt Reynolds is before. Okay, so here we go. On the Paul Newman scale, where is 1993 mustachioed Turd Ferguson?
He's not up there with Paul Newman.
No?
No, he I don't know, there's something about Burt Reynolds, what little I've seen of him. It seems like he is a little full of himself and knew he was, and I'm not really into arrogant men. Even though older types tend to be arrogant. I mean, they've lived. Yeah. So Why wouldn't they be? But yeah, no, he didn't do it for me. But again, solid mustache, not gonna.
It's an aces.
I think I mentioned this to Walter. I was like, I mean, I wouldn't kick him out of the bed for eating crackers.
Right. Burt Reynolds, you eat all the crackers you want. I mean, he did.
Yeah,
Lots
he's
of
not
white
up there for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw Smokey and the Bandit like 3 years ago. I'd never seen it before. I get it. Like, I get why he had what he had. Like, him and Sally Fields in that movie are so great together. Like, the chemistry they have. And I'd like your, like, at some point, whether we watch that this week or not, I don't know. But I would love your take on them in that movie. Because to me, layman, they sparkle.
Yeah.
Like, they're really good together. They both have this just jumps off the screen charisma. And like, there's Burt Reynolds was a golden god. I mean, you can just tell. Yeah. Like, it's all there. And like Burt Reynolds in Deliverance, no mustache. Like, it's not until you get the mustache, I think, that you're really feeling the full Burt of it all. But yeah, Smokey and the Bandit was it's a hoot. It is a hoot and a half. It is a fun little movie. And I enjoy them. I enjoy him and her in it both quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like, he comes in and he takes off those sunglasses and you're like, oh, that's some Burt Reynolds right there. Like, what if he was just wearing a hat, like a really big hat? Like, it's funny.
Turf Ferguson.
Yeah, that's not my name. Scooby-Doo. And a pal, Scrappy-Doo. No, that's correct.
I love it so much.
I was presented as you're flipping through reels or whatever's, there was another sketch on Saturday Night Live in '97 when the re-release of Star Wars in the theaters was happening, and they were putting out the special editions, and they did this whole other actors auditioning for parts in Star Wars, and it's like Anna Gasteyer doing her Barbra Streisand, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Like, and so they had it was Kevin Spacey as Jack Lemmon in the Chewbacca outfit. He's like, what the hell is this picture about? Like, but then they get Burt Reynolds auditioning for Darth Vader, and he's like, what kind of car does this guy drive?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, it's funny. Recommend watching it. Walter Matthau auditioning for Obi-Wan. Sand people only ride single file to hide their numbers. What is this picture? Yeah, it's funny. It's a terrible Walter Matthau. But anyway.
It's okay. We weren't ready to come out and do impressions today.
No, this is just how it's going today. All right, here's one last thing I think this episode might really be about. It's when weaseling out goes wrong. Because like I agree with Homer Simpson. Don't discourage the boy. Weaseling is an important skill for people to learn. It's what separates us from the animals, except for the weasel.
Oh my God.
But there are people trying to weasel out all over the place. Dylan has been trying to weasel out of taking the SATs this whole year. Cost him a relationship. Bad news.
Yeah.
So weaseling out went wrong. Still had to take the test. Steve tries to weasel out of detention, and it doesn't work. Like he's been trying to do that all year long.
Yeah.
But I have to be here. Where else am I going to be? Ginger tries weaseling out of the whole Mr. Burt Reynolds situation and keeping all the money. And tearing the good and honest name of J. Thomas Parnell Celebrity Tours while she's at it. That guy has got a bone to pick beyond that $5,000 with Ginger, Marla, April, whatever her name is. But again, fully in support of weaseling, but you can't. Weaseling out, if it goes wrong, is going to catch you, and that's what this episode is really trying to teach you. Like, you can't even weasel your way out of Magic Mountain stealing people's wallets. Donna Martin's going to kick your ass.
What a dum-dum.
I know. This guy's plan. This episode is about people having terrible plans. I just realized. Ginger's plan, overly complicated. For what? To get $2,500 from some Burt Reynolds fan? And what did they ever do to you, these poor Burt Reynolds fans? Other than like they were shitty as customers.
Right.
But like this pickpockets plan. Like if you want to steal from your classmates, maybe don't do it when your getaway vehicle is the same bus they're going to be on.
Right.
Like you're trapped with these people all day long and they saw you. It's not like Kelly, like when you were able to steal hers, presumably, without her knowing and dropped it on the bus. Like you just run up and grab a purse and run away in a theme park where there are security teenagers around.
Yeah.
And then you got to get on a bus with everybody and ride back to school with them. And like, guess you're not going to notice that it was me, everybody, this whole time.
Yeah. Stupid.
Terrible plan. I don't like it. Even Steve's plan to get a hold of Burt Reynolds, I mean, maybe it's the best you can do. But if you got this town wired like Steve Sanders' management group, then I know. I agree. You should yawn at that.
I'm sorry. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning.
Yeah, now I've yawned a few times too. Here we go, yawning. That was your fault. You gave me that one.
Yep, they're contagious.
I know. It's rough. All right. What did this episode make you nostalgic for?
I'm torn. Because, like, it definitely... I'm just going to share this memory. I'm not necessarily nostalgic for this. I am nostalgic for, like... We'll get to there. We'll get to there. I was at Wick's Pizza Parlor in Louisville with friends. Like, I think it was over Christmas break because we were all in college at this point. And we're seated at the booth right by the door. And I'm facing the door. And all of a sudden, this couple goes past me. One of them snatches my friend's bag. They go out the door. And I was like, oh my God, they just stole your purse. And so my friend tries to run out after them, but they had the getaway car ready and everything.
Damn.
It was intense. And I don't remember what exactly the waiter said. We had this really funny waiter that night, but he was like, well, that sucks.
He's right.
Yeah, I mean, he was so funny. He comped our pizza, and we left him like an incredible tip because he didn't have to do that. But it was such a weird thing because we were just like horrified.
No shit.
Yeah. So that's my weird thing. Like, again, not nostalgic for witnessing something terrible, but you know, it was certainly a memorable night with people that I no longer hang out with, and not because of that, but
when that door opened, did the bell ring?
Oh my God.
Like, is that in there? Is that part of why that's so hard for you, that bell?
I don't know. I don't remember if that Wix, that's the thing. I miss going to that Wix too. That Wix is amazing. They have murals all over. And it's just cool. Delightful. Great memories. But yeah, I don't think they have bells, but that would be really funny and explains so much of why those bells keep freaking me out.
Yeah. So here's where I thought your story was going. Because you're sitting there right by the door, and the door opens and a couple walks in. And I'm imagining you look at their feet and you do a slow pan up.
Nope.
Right? And when you get up, when you get all the way to their faces, it's Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson. That's where I thought that story was going. Yeah, I thought you had met Burt and Lonnie.
No, I met the Louisville Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I'm sorry that your friend got her shit stolen. That's no good. All right, here's what this makes me nostalgic for. It's a 2-part nostalgia connection.
Okay.
And it revolves around Aerosmith. Because there's a live album of Aerosmith's called A Little South of Sanity that's really good. And one of, most live albums are either like this one show and they just put the whole thing out there, or they take a few, like they just record the whole tour and they take the bits and pieces. One of the places that they performed on this album was Magic Mountain. which is a place I've never been. But at the beginning of one of the songs, Steven Tyler is like, Magic Mountain, baby, Magic Mountain. And so like that was like going in my head every time they say Magic Mountain in this. And then it reminded me of my favorite moment in any roller coaster ride, in any amusement park in the history of the world. Have you been on Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster at the whatever it's called at Disney World now, that used to be called MGM, but now it's something else?
No.
Okay. It's a fun roller coaster. It's Space Mountain adjacent. Like it's an indoor roller coaster. Like you're like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds in this thing, and then you're doing all this shit. But here's how this thing starts out. You go into a recording studio. Like you're all brought into this recording studio, and on the other side of the glass is the control booth. And obviously it's a video taken in like 1989 or 1998 of Aerosmith, and they're like talking about, oh, we love our fans and all this kind of stuff, and they're having this whole conversation. And they're like, I wish there was something we could do to show our fans how much we love them. And then there's one sad little cast member standing in the room with you who has one line. And that line is, how about some backstage passes? And then 1998, Steven Tyler goes, that's a great idea. Backstage passes for everybody. Oh, and it is so funny how little this cast member wants to say that line. Like it is, I mean, because this has been going on for 30 years now, this ride. And I'm sure it was like this great idea. It's like, how about some backstage passes? That's a great idea. Come on backstage. And then you go backstage and like they get in the limo and you get in the limo right behind them. And that's the car. So that's the setup for the thing. But how about some backstage passes was probably my favorite part of going to Disney World.
Wow.
It tickled me so hard. Like,
that sounds about right for you.
I laughed because it's the nuts and bolts of it that's so funny to me. Like you see the seams that makes this thing work, and when one person is just so unenthusiastic about the part they have to play, you're just like, oh, this girl has said that line 35 times today, and she is so tired of it.
Yep.
She has to do it, or else Steven Tyler is talking to nobody when he says, that's a great idea.
Yeah, wow. I feel you, honey.
Yeah, no, I get it, but it made me laugh really hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it still does. How about some backstage pass? So I recommend it. Go ride Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster at Disneyland next time.
It would take so much to get me back on a roller coaster. Like the last one I did was the New York roller coaster in
Vegas?
Yeah, in 2013. Okay. And that was the roller coaster I went, you know what? I don't think these are for me.
You don't enjoy them, or they make you nauseous, or you're scared? Like
I don't like being jostled around.
Okay.
And also this is snobby singer moment, but like screaming is bad for your voice. So anything that is, I mean, you can do other things. You can like just yell on a high note and be okay. But like, I generally don't like how it makes my body feel. Listen, when you have anxiety, every day is a thrill ride.
That's fair. I don't scream when I'm on roller coasters. I laugh, like uncontrollably. I laugh. I just can't help it. Like it's just that's the physical reaction I get. This is crazy. Like, just woo, we're upside down now. Like I don't know.
I have a photo of you on the one at Coney Island, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, yep. That one, if you don't like getting jostled around, what the hell is that called? The cyclone? Boy, if you don't have somebody sitting with you, you're going side to side on that son bitch.
Yeah, that's
So
the thing. I've always been afraid. I liked him better the first time when I was a kid and you're fearless or,
yeah,
less fearful than as an adult. And I've always been afraid of flying out of them, even though that is a rare occurrence. But yeah.
yeah. When I'm not going to have this problem the next time we ride one because Liam is 5'10" now. But when he was smaller, like still tall enough to ride the ride, I'm like
Yep.
holding as if my arm can fight the centrifugal forces involved in this roller coaster. I'm doing nothing. I'm aware, but it makes me feel a little bit better that I've like got my hand on his leg or something. Like I could just grab on. Here we go.
You know what? You're just like Chris Hemsworth when he snuck his daughter on a roller coaster and he put his arm out and did the same thing.
It's A, one of many ways I'm like Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
And B, just I feel like that is just such a protective parent thing. I just like like I know I'm being, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people who do stuff like that don't think they're being ridiculous.
I've done that with Ember in the car.
Of course, I do it, and I know I'm being ridiculous while I do it. Like I understand. Yeah. I can step far enough outside to go, you're being dumb right now. I'm not gonna tell you shouldn't do it, but you're being dumb. And I'm like, I know. I'm holding on to this kid.
I'm Wonder Woman protecting my child. What are you saying?
Yeah, I have all of the strength in my right arm. Yeah, I'm a mess. I like roller coasters though. I don't like waiting in line for roller coasters. Cheers to roller coasters, jeers to lines.
Fair. That's totally fair. I know. I wish I liked rides more. Someday I'll get out of my head and enjoy these things more, but not now. And that's okay.
I don't know.
I like watching other people do the fun things sometimes. I'm like, you go do that. That looks fun. I'm having fun watching you. I have other fun things I can do, like hold my dog.
That is the most Cindy Walsh thing you've ever said.
Well,
I mean, can you not just picture Cindy Walsh saying, you guys go have fun, I'm going to sit right here?
I mean, I do love cooking and slicing up some fruit.
Yep, slice up some fruit, eat it the whole day.
Yeah.
No matter how many takes, just do it.
Hey, if you're going to have to eat food, you want it to be fruits or vegetables.
Have you tried these mangoes? All right, who is your Steve Sanders Memorial Worst Person of the Episode?
It's Ginger. She really bugged me. Like,
it's Ginger.
And you know what's sad? It's not even just for like conning. She was just being so annoying about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Like, you could just be annoying and get people to give you money. Like, you don't have to plan out this elaborate con. Just start telling a really annoying story and be like, fine, here's $5. Shut up. God.
Yeah. And also the cons are supposed to be complicated because that's what makes them fun to watch. This is a dumb con. Like you have to, again, your getaway vehicle is the bus on which the people that you stole from are riding. Like you're in this. This is a bad plan. You're out of state. Like you bring them. Like you have to do research in order to put this bullshit together.
Yeah.
Like you have to know that the Peach Pit is a place and where it is and what Nat's name is. And, that Burt Reynolds once ate here or whatever. And the planning for the return on investment in this plan is real low. So just, be a better con person. Ginger, Marla.
Go to a town in Iowa. They'll tell you how to say it. Start an all boys band.
Okay.
Teach them a bullshit philosophy.
Okay.
And it's grand.
Okay. What's that one? What scheme is that?
That's Music Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking about the monorail from The Simpsons because it's the the same story. Yeah, but that's also too complicated.
They reference the Music Man in this. Capital D that rhymes with T.
That's right. That's true. Oh, and the other thing they mentioned that they reference in this is, and this was, you were like, why did they do that? But it's the Jason Priestley wanted to do some fancy directing shit. The shot of the license plate when Steve backs out of the spot, puts it in drive, and they go. I saw it and I went, oh, that is some Starsky and Hutch shit right there. Like, again, Aaron Spelling show. And then like 2 minutes later, Dylan calls out Starsky and Hutch. He's like, that felt like Starsky and Hutch. I was like, I did not remember them making that reference in here. But yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff that you get in a Jason Priestley directed episode. Like, you get that shot of the license plate. You get the 3 different times panning up from people's feet to see for the reveal who it is. You get the peek around the bathroom door gagged, you get them arguing while she climbs out the window in the background and steals the car. Like, all of those things are not normal 90210 shots.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's kind of fun. And it fits this goofy ass episode.
There were no booms in the shot.
No, there was one boom. I saw a boom.
Oh, dang it.
I know. In the hallway, when they're at the beginning of the episode, when they're talking about, who's buying the tickets, and Donna and David come up and whatever, and Steve and Dylan are arguing about the SATs, there's a little,
oh no, I missed it.
Yeah, I happened to catch it. I haven't been like so great at it, but there's been a couple recently that I've caught. Boop. Yeah. Boop. It's kind of fun to do.
It is funny.
All right. Anything else for this episode, or did we did it?
I think we did it.
I think we did it too. All right. So join us here on Friday, Cheesemeisters, when we watch a Burt Reynolds movie.
Yep.
We haven't decided yet. Not gonna be Deliverance. We have decided that.
No way.
I mean, it should be Cop and a Half, just for the number of times they mentioned Cop and a Half in this episode. But I feel like that movie's probably terrible, and I just don't want any part of it. So we have some options, and we will decide, and it will be a huge surprise when we do it.
Yes.
But then next week, Cheesemeister, we're in the end game now.
1. Oh dear.
We're in the end game.
I feel like you just did a Taylor Swift thing there. We're just flashing a number.
No, that's Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah! Oh God! No.
When he looks at Tony after he says we're in the end game now, and there's that's what that was. Mm-hmm. So, next week, Cheesemeisters, we are going to watch season 3, episode 27, A Night to Remember. It's prom time.
I can't wait.
Leslie's about to see some iconic bullshit at this prom.
I'm going to watch it immediately after we start.
Oh, I can't wait.
Like, I can't wait. It's a prom episode. I have to.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be messy. I'm going to love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, and I just said, oh man, double check that you can watch it, because there's a live music performance in it.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And if I need to get you the file, I can.
Okay.
But Kathy Dennis just has one question for you. Why?
Oh my God.
Yeah. But until then, Cheesemeisters.
Bye.
Why?